Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to We Got Life Wisdom. So far, I've been your host, Zero Yeti. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first animal of the week being Cetiosaurus, which is a genus of large herbivorous sauropod dinosaur, which lived throughout what is now Europe during the Middle Jurassic period, some 170 to 164 million years ago. Cetiosaurus is, with the exception of the toothed genus Cardiodon, the first sauropod to be discovered and named, as well as being the best known sauropod from England. With the first fossils consisting of vertebrae and limb bones being discovered near Chipping Norton in the early 19th century and were reported upon by collector John Kingdon on a letter read on the 3rd of June 1825 to the Geological Society of London. In 1841, biologist, comparative anatomist, and paleontologist Sir Richard Owen described these specimens as belonging to what he thought was a form of gigantic crocodile-like sea-dwelling reptile, which he named Cetiosaurus, meaning whale lizard, from the Greek cetios, meaning sea monster, and sauros, meaning lizard. In 1842, he established two species, Cetiosaurus hyplothecus and Cetiosaurus epilothecus. The same year, in a subsequent publication, Owen named four additional Cetiosaurus species: Cetiosaurus brevis, Cetiosaurus brachyurus, Cetiosaurus medius, and Cetiosaurus longus. Owen had abandoned the two earlier names, as shown by the fact that their fossils were referred to several of the new species. In March 1868, workers near Bletchington discovered a sauropod right femur, and between March 1869 and June 1870, Professor John Phillips further investigated the site, and a layer dating to the Bathonian uncovered three skeletons and additional bone material. In 1871, based on these, he named two species, Cetiosaurus oxenensis and Cetiosaurus glyptonensis, because of the early description of many species that would be named in the genus, eventually 18 of them. Most of these have now been placed in other genera and are understood to be dubious names, based on poor fossil material. The last is true also of the original type species, Cetiosaurus medius, and so Cetiosaurus oxenensis was officially made the new type specimen in 2014. Reach around 52 feet or 16 meters in length and 24,000 pounds or 11,000 kilograms in weight, Cetiosaurus was a larger quadrupedal animal with a moderately long, about the size of its body, neck, and an impressively long tail. Unlike many sauropods, Cetiosaurus sported four arms as long as its upper arm, resulting in the forelimb equaling the hind limb in length. Apologies for the background noise. The people living in this house just keep blasting the television and their phones. I've asked them to stop. They have not. Choriophia hippurus, better known as the dolphinfish dorado, lampuca, capone, lampuga, icanalimidang, or mahi-mahi, is a species of surface-dwelling ray-finned fish found in offshore temperate tropical and subtropical waters worldwide. Excuse me. This fast-swimming predatory fish can reach speeds up to 57.5 miles per hour, around 92.6 kilometers an hour, in pursuit of prey such as flying fish, crabs, squid, mackerel, and other forage fish. Mahi-mahi are themselves preyed upon by sharks, large tuna, seals and sea lions, porpoises, whales, dolphins, marlin, sailfish, and swordfish. Mahi-mahi reach on average 15 to 30 pounds, or 7 to 13 kilograms in weight, and reach around 3.3 feet or 1 meter in length, with exceptionally large individuals reaching up to 7 feet or 2.1 meters in length and 88 pounds or 39.9 kilograms in weight. Males are typically larger than females, and mahi-mahi have compressed bodies with one very long dorsal fin extending from the head almost to the tail fin. Mature males have a distinct forehead, which grows as the fish matures and often protrudes well above the body proper, which is streamlined by the musculature of the back. This hump is a sexually dimorphic feature, as females have a more rounded head. Their caudal fins and anal fins are sharply concave. Their coloration is golden on the sides, with bright blues and greens on the sides and back, and iridescent blue pectoral fins. Out of the water, the fish often change color, giving rise to their Spanish name dorado, meaning golden, going through several hues before finally fading into a muted yellow-gray upon death. Spawning occurs in warm ocean currents throughout much of the year, with females laying between 80,000 and 1 million eggs up to 3 times per year. The young are commonly found in rafts of sargassum weeds, and mahi-mahi are amongst the fastest growing fish on Earth, reaching sexual maturity in as little as 4 to 5 months. They are also short-lived, with the oldest known mahi-mahi just being 5 years old. Gris vigor, or Gris vigro, Gris virgo, better known as the demoiselle crane, the codge, or the kurja, is a species of crane native to Central Euro-Siberia, ranging from the Black Sea to Mongolia and northeastern China. There is also a small breeding population in Turkey. These cranes are migratory birds, with birds from western Eurasia spending their winters in Africa, while the birds from Asia, Mongolia, and China will spend their winter in the Indian subcontinent. They tend to live in open habitats with sparse vegetation, usually near water. These are omnivorous birds which feed upon various grasses, grains, seeds, nuts, insects, worms, crustaceans, and the occasional vertebrate such as a lizard, amphibian, or small fish. These birds tend to live in pairs or small flocks up to 10 individuals for the most of the year, but may gather into large flocks, several hundred strong, in order to migrate together. Reaching around 33.5 to 39.5 inches, or 85 to 100 centimeters long, 30 inches, or 76 centimeters tall, and 4.4 to 6.6 pounds, or 2 to 3 kilograms in weight, with a 61 to 70 inch, or 155 to 180 centimeter wingspan on average. The demoiselle is the smallest known species of crane. It sports a long white neck stripe, and the black on the forehead extends down over the chest in a plume. The head of the demoiselle crane is covered in feathers, and it lacks any bare red patches of skin common on other crane species. It has a loud trumpeting call, and the mating season occurs from April through May. The minimal nest is placed in an open patch of grass or on bare ground. Here, 2 eggs typically laid and incubated in chicks by both parents for 27 to 29 days. After hatching, the chicks are pale brown above and grayish blue or white below. They are fed and cared for by both parents, and the fledging period is between 55 and 65 days. Under ideal conditions, the demoiselle crane will reach temperature around 2 years of age and live up to 65 years. The chital, or axis, also known as the spotted deer, chital deer, or axis deer, is a deer species native to the Indian subcontinent, where it ranges throughout India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. The chital has also been introduced to Australia, Croatia, Colombia, the Hawaiian Islands, and Texas. A diurnal and gregarious animal, the chital forms matriarchal herds comprised of an adult female and her offspring of the previous and present year, which may be associated with individuals of any age of either sex, male herds, or herds of juveniles and mothers. Small herds of 15 to 40 are common, though herds up to 100 strong are known. Chital may also form mixed herds with sambar deer. They also have a symbiotic relationship with Hanuman langurs, helping each other forage and look out for predators such as Indian wolves, tigers, Asiatic lions, leopards, pythons, dholes, Indian pariah dogs, and crocodiles. Axis deer are mixed browsers, feeding upon grasses, herbs, shrubs, foliage, fruits, forbs, and the occasional invertebrate, such as insects, or in particular red crabs. The females reach around 5.7 or 1.7 feet or 1.7 meters in length, and around 2.2 to 2.5 feet or 65 to 75 centimeters tall at the shoulder, and 55 to 100 pounds or 25 to 45 kilograms in weight. whilst males reach around 5.7 feet or 1.7 meters in length, 2.9 to 3.3 feet or 90 to 100 centimeters tall at the shoulder, and 165 to 243 pounds or 75 to 110 kilograms in weight. The chital is a moderately sized deer, and the dorsal or upper parts are golden to rufous, completely covered in white spots. The abdomen, rump, and throat, as well as the inside legs, ears, and tail, are all white. The three-pronged antlers, which can grow up to 3.3 feet or 1 meter in length, are only found in breeding males. Breeding takes place throughout the year, with peaks that vary geographically. After a 210 to 225 day pregnancy, a mother axis deer will give birth to 1 to 2 fawns. During the first 2 weeks after birth, the young live in hiding spots where they are visited by their mother. The mother nurses her fawns until they are 6 months old. Under ideal conditions, the chital will reach sexual maturity around 12 to 14 months of age and may live upwards of 20 years. Next up is the Northern Plains langur, or Seminopithecus intellis, also known as the sacred langur, Bengal sacred langur, or Hanuman langur, is a species of primate in the family Cisiopurple, which is endemic to northern India and western Bangladesh. One moment. Apologies, my nose had started bleeding. These diurnal primates spend more time on the ground than they do in trees. They live in smaller single-sex or large mixed-sex groups up to 100 strong. Additionally, male gray langurs are occasionally solitary. They inhabit subtropical and tropical rainforests and shrublands where they feed upon leaves, fruits, seeds, flowers, buds, bark, and insects, especially caterpillars. Hanuman langurs are themselves eaten by leopards, large snakes, large birds of prey, dholes, golden jackals, lions, and tigers. Because of this, Hanuman langur often associates with chital deer. Both species respond to each other's alarm calls. The chitals tend to benefit from the vigilance of the langurs watching for predators in the trees, while the langurs seem to benefit from the chital's better sense of smell and hearing. And the Hanuman langur has also been observed working together with rhesus macaques. Male Hanuman langurs are larger than females, reaching around 30.9 inches or 78.4 centimeters in body length, and 37 to 43 pounds, or 16.9 to 19.5 kilograms in weight, with an up to 44-inch or 111.8 centimeter long tail, whilst females reach around 17.8 inches or 45.1 centimeters in body length, 21 to 35 pounds or 9.6 to 16.1 kilograms in weight, with a 31.6 inch or 80.3 centimeter tail. Both sexes sport mostly light-colored coats, with darker fur on the back and limbs, and the face, hands, and feet are all black. Infants are brown. Langur groups that have access to abundant food year-round, for example those that are provisioned by temples or able to raid crops year-round, may also breed throughout the year. Other groups with seasonal variable foods typically give birth between December and May. After a 200-day pregnancy, a mother gray langur gives birth to a single infant. Females other than the mother alloparent the infant for the first month of its life. Weaning occurs about 1 year of age. And a female Hanuman langur will reach sexual maturity around 2 to 3 years, whilst males reach around 5 to 7. And under ideal conditions, a Hanuman langur may live up to 30 years. Next up is Sarumalis ater, better known as the common chuckwalla, the takawal, the coxwall, or the northern chuckwalla, is a species of lizard in the family Iguanidae, which is endemic to the southwestern United States and northwestern Mexico. It is found in comparative abundance throughout the Sonora and Mojave deserts. These diurnal lizards are well adapted to desert conditions, being active at temperatures up to 102 degrees Fahrenheit or 39 degrees Celsius. However, chuckwallas typically brumate during winter months. Males are seasonally and conditionally territorial, and abundance of resources tends to create a hierarchy based on size, with one large male dominating the area's smaller males. Chuckwallas use a combination of color and physical displays, namely push-ups, head bobbing, and the gaping of the mouth to communicate and defend their territory. Chuckwallas are primarily herbivorous, feeding upon flowers, leaves, seeds, fruit, and the occasional insect. When disturbed, the chuckwalla enters crevices between rocks and inflates its lungs using a gular pump. The lung inflation ascends the body and wedges lizards tightly in place to keep it out of reach from predators. Reaching an average of 20 inches or 50.8 centimeters in length and 2 pounds or 0.9 kilograms in weight, the common chuckwalla is a large, flat-bodied lizard with a large, rounded belly and wide-based, blunt-tipped tail. The coloration of these lizards varies by location and between juveniles and adults, as well as between males and females. In adult males, the head, shoulders, and pelvic regions are black, while the mid-body is a light tan or speckled with brown. Adult females are brownish in color, with a scattering of dark red spots. Young chuckwallas have 4 to 5 bands across their bodies, which are lost partially by adult females and completely by adult males. Mating occurs from April to July, with females laying between 5 to 16 eggs between June and August. The eggs hatch in late September, and under ideal conditions, a common chuckwalla may live up to 65 years. And our last animal of the week is Scaphognathus, a genus of pterosaur that lived throughout what is now Europe, particularly what is now Germany, during the late Jurassic period, some 156 to 150 million years ago. The first known specimen, consisting of the 4 limbs, the skull, rib cage, and much of the vertebral column minus the tail, was recovered from the Solholfen strata near the Eschach by August Goldfuss, who in 1831 mistook the tailless specimen for a new pterodactylus species, which he described as P. crassirostris. The specific name means fat snout in Latin. In 1858, Johann Wagner referred to the species as Rhamphorhynchus, after recognizing the fundamentally different snout shape. Wagner, after previous field attempts by Leopold Fitzringer and Christoph Gottfried Andreas Gibbel, who used preoccupied names, in 1861 named the distinct genus as Scaphognathus, derived from the Greek scaphe, meaning boat or tub, and gnathos, meaning jaw, in reference to the blunt shape of the lower jaws. In the early 20th century, the rhamphorhynchid nature of S. crassirostris was recognized after the discovery of a second specimen in Mulheim, whose long tail was preserved. The second Scaphognathus specimen was more complete than its predecessor, but only half the size, with partially ossified bones, meaning it represented a juvenile. An additional adult specimen has since been recovered. Reaching around 2.5 feet or 0.76 meters long, with a 3 foot or 0.9 meter wingspan. Physically, it was very similar to Rhamphorhynchus, albeit with notable cranial differences. Scaphognathus had a proportionally shorter and more robust skull, with a blunter tip and large anterorbital fenestra. Its teeth were ornated vertically rather than horizontally, and comparisons between the scleral rings of Scaphognathus and modern birds and reptiles suggest it would have been an active diurnal flyer, whilst Rhamphorhynchus was likely more nocturnal. As always, take care to my guys, gals, and my binary pals. Have a wonderful day.